Beloved hearts of love's eternal presence, I, Neptune, overseer of the water element of your solar system, along with Poseidon, the great cosmic being of our universe, as I represent him as well this day, I am grateful to have this time with you. Perhaps today we can all understand and accept that the water element in your world today is disturbed, and there are many impurities in the water, whether that be in the rain that passes through the lower atmosphere and absorbs some of the atmospheric pollution, or the water element in your rivers, streams, lakes, and oceans that have become somewhat toxic and polluted by industry and to some extent humans themselves. And I do not even address the plastics and other pollutants that find their way into the water systems of your world. Humanity is sadly led to believe that climate change is responsible for all negative activities of the water element, such as storms and floods, and of the other elements too. While climate change is definitely a contributing factor upon the disturbed actions of the water element, I say unto you, precious hearts, that humanity must wake up quickly and recognize how their states of consciousness are impacting all the powers of nature and the forces of the elements, not just the water element. Like some of you who are awakened, yet the whole race must wake up quickly now and recognize themselves as creator beings who are constantly setting many causes into motion. And some of those causes have terrible effects and impacts upon the powers of nature. Until human beings truly invest themselves in the study of the nature of consciousness, they remain unaware how their state of consciousness, the state of their minds, and their feeling side of life is affecting the powers of nature and the planet herself. Now, those of you who are awake, and we are grateful for you, have some understanding of these things, yet the mass of the people do not. And this must change quickly over the next few years. My beloved friends of Earth, the powers of nature are simply returning back to humanity the discord imposed upon them by humans. Please remember, you are beings of cause, and your consciousness, thoughts, emotions, words, and actions are constantly influencing and impacting the world you live in, constantly affecting the powers of nature and the planet herself. Floods, earthquakes, hurricanes, forest fires are not only the result of climate change. Rather, it is the result of people's troubling emotional states of consciousness that are influencing and impacting the powers of nature and how nature acts upon your planet. As beings of consciousness and cause, all human beings, all humanity, must someday soon become beings of greater light and love, and leave all discordant minds and emotions behind. I say unto you that no one on earth quite understands the purpose of the great bodies of water upon a planet. The water element, representing as it does the energy of the emotional body, while it is a purifying activity, yet too it is the energy supplying activity. And while the waters of the planet represent the feeling of the mass of life in this world, also there flows through the water element the purifying electronic force that comes from the physical sun and the great central sun, that constantly surges through into the structure of Earth, into the atmosphere of Earth, and into the bodies of humankind. And it absorbs a great deal of mankind's impurity, and through the ages dissolves some of it. Now, beloveds, so too are your emotional bodies made of the water element. Therefore, whatever disturbs the waters of the planet will to some degree be felt by you, unless you command your emotional body to feel otherwise, to feel only peace, love, and harmony. Equally, discord and negativity humanity holds in their consciousness and their emotional bodies impacts adversely the water element upon your planet. Now, beloved hearts, the pure electronic force, which your physical sun really is, combines oxygen and hydrogen in the atmosphere of Earth. As they condense to become the water element, it generally strikes the mountain peaks of your mountain ranges first. Then it enters into and rushes down until it enters the rivers, lakes, and oceans of your planet. Now, everywhere the water passes, it leaves some of the electronic force and builds it into a substance wherever it flows. This is its natural cleansing activity from the sun and various octaves of light that was always intended to be a blessing to the powers of nature and all beings such as yourself who live upon your planet. Beloved, there is a relationship here between humanity and the powers of nature. You were each intended to be a blessing upon the water element, the powers of nature. And the water element and the powers of nature were intended to be a blessing upon each of you. Thus, a vital symbiotic relationship between yourselves and nature and yourselves. This symbiotic relationship has been disturbed by the negative emotional aspect of human consciousness. Truly, those of you awake and are loving and harmonious to all life, you are the blessing in this world that is ensuring the storms of the powers of nature do not become worse. Yet this is presently not enough. Thus the powers of nature seem to become more virulent and violent in storms, hurricanes, earthquakes, floods and fires, and even extreme temperatures. I wish you to deeply realize, beloved hearts, there is always a grand design for all life upon all planets. The powers of nature and the forces of the elements, along with other kingdoms on this earth, they were all created in a way to be receptive to all that sentient beings would give to them, would pour to them. And in this way, they too would evolve, just like you. And they too would then give back to humans the love, caring, and kindness that humans offered to the elements and all other kingdoms. The way we see it, humanity must rise once again and seek to restore, seek to have divine relationships with the powers of nature as well as all other kingdoms of life on earth. And some of you now are doing this. There are humans today who have created very loving relationships with some of the animal kingdom that are considered wild and fierce. There are humans who have such loving, caring relationships with lions and tigers, who roll around in the grasses in such playful love. Such a demonstration of what happens when a human being is loving and caring and kind, not just to each other, but to the powers of nature and to all other kingdoms, such as the animal kingdom. You know, beloved hearts, sometimes you might like to get out in a boat or a sailboat. And when you get out to the middle of a lake or into mid-ocean in a lovely boat on a lovely day, whenever you get far enough out into the water element, you actually reach a certain vibratory action of purity and relaxation to the emotional body. Then you lay back and relax for a while, sailing or floating in the water element. The reason for that is that the water element, composing as it does 80% of the atomic structure, is naturally attuned to the physical water element upon which you are sailing in your lovely boat. There is wonderful peace, beloved hearts, when the water element is calm in the oceans of the world or other great bodies of water. And when the water is so stilled so that it scarcely moves to any extent, then you can even absorb its energy through the optic nerve just by looking at it. And then you find yourselves even more relaxed with a deep realization and appreciation for what a friend you have in the water element. I wish you to know, precious hearts, there are new discoveries that are coming forth. As humans embrace the sacred fire element and become more loving and caring, then we will determine when these new discoveries are coming forth. There are some of the most wonderful activities of life and energy on this planet that takes place deep within the water element, deep within the oceans. And while we govern those activities very easily, and we know exactly what is going on deep within the oceans and seas, the present awareness of the people of Earth just do not know what I speak of. In the first place, people know very little about what is in the sea or the oceans of the world. Yes, they have made some explorations down to a certain depth, but could you see how much further down the water element goes than to the level which humankind can investigate? You would understand there is an entire hidden knowledge deep within the water element, which none of humankind can explore until we, the gods of the elements and the ascended host, open the way. Yet first, we all must have opportunity to provide the greater humankind with the knowledge of the sacred fire, so that humans purify themselves and remove all destructive tendencies and misuse of energy itself. We are not going to allow the great beings, the great creatures that live in the seas and oceans, that are pure love. We are not going to let them be seen or noticed or discovered by humans, as long as there is one human who could be destructive to them. Humanity will come to just love what abides in the great oceans, and will come to love the divine creatures who live there. Yet I say unto you, until your people are more loving and caring, we will not allow the people to meet these divine creatures who are here to help you and your planet usher in this golden age. It is for this reason the necessity of awakening, the necessity to come back to home, to states of pure love. But there is much that you can do in the meantime. And who is to say, my dear friends, who is to say what life will reveal to each of you who are willing to make a difference, willing to command the purification, the restoration of the water element upon your planet? Therefore, I, Neptune, I ask all of you now who are receptive, willing to do your part, to enter into your power of prayer and decree and call upon the mighty beloved Elohim, this great creator being, this great cosmic being, the Elohim of eternal, invincible purity, and his uncountable legions of angels to charge the waters of the oceans and great seas with his flame of eternal, invincible purity, as if the waters of the earth had been replaced by his mighty creator flame, or become oceans of his internal, invincible purity. If you would decree for this, then hold a vision, visualize oceans of it, so that as far as you can see, everything in the water element becomes the blazing purity of his presence. Do this, precious hearts. Add this call to your spiritual protocol of prayers and decrees for your planet. And if you do so, and I observe that you, by the power of decree, will help the water element of your planet, I will strike my mighty trident and release mighty electronic forces of light. I will join with you. Yet this planet is leased to your kind. It is presently owned by you, not in the whole sense of the word, but it is like it is loaned to you. And if you are to receive the cosmic that we can offer, then you yourselves must use your free will and take some steps, take some action that can purify the powers of nature. And especially today, as I speak of the water element. Now, beloved hearts, I am quite aware that I have been portrayed in your world as an old man with whiskers and a trident. And I assure you, I don't look like that at all. My goodness, the things that humans come up with. As a cosmic ascended being, Lord of the water element, I am timeless, and time has no impact upon my own physical garment. And if you would love the water element of your own physical bodies, perhaps they too will stop being forced to register time, such as aging. I say unto you, I have been called the old man of the sea. And while, of course, I am older than all the water on your planet, and well, I admit that, I certainly don't look like the pictures that have been presented in your world of my likeness. I am, and so too are all the gods of the elements. We are handsome beyond any words to describe. We are all that the word God implies. We, the gods of the elements, are youthful, beautiful, luminous masters. Everywhere we move in this universe. And we do so with such beauty and with such power as mankind have never yet beheld in this world. And all of our service is dedicated to our shared source, the very mother, father presence of our universe. You are yet to come to understand how you have not been very friendly, have not been very nice to the elements of your planet or the elements of your physical bodies. You cannot look to anyone but yourselves. It is yourselves and all your beliefs and causing yourselves to disconnect from your source. It is you yourself that have imposed aging and disease upon the elements of your body. Perhaps, therefore, you could use a good friend in Neptune. Perhaps you could use my strident. When you retire to rest your bodies, I invite you to call upon I, Neptune, to come to you while your body sleeps, that I might harmonize the water element of your body, that I might harmonize your mind and your feelings, and that I may assist you to keep your brain activity calm throughout your night's sleep. If I can do that and help you because you invite me to, then, beloved, you create a space to experience some wonderful dreams. And you know not how often your light bodies and how you can function in your light body in these so-called dream states. And if you would remember to invite me to come into your dreams, I will come and take you upon mighty Neptune's mighty yacht. Did you hear that? My yacht. Why should I not have a yacht? I am Lord of the water element, and together we will dream of going sailing upon oceans of divine love and harmony. We will do this. But then again, who is it to say it's just a dream? It may become something even more powerful, more real than the crazy dreams you are living in your daily lives. So, beloved hearts, together, let us work to save your planet, to once again harmonize the powers of nature and the forces of the elements, restore divine relationship. Us gods of the elements, if you call to us, we can show you, teach you how to live in harmony with the powers of nature, how to live in divine harmony with all other kingdoms of life upon your beloved earth. You are all journeying home now. Therefore, let me take you surfing to your victory. Let us scale together the great mountains of your spiritual growth. This is your time now to once again become beings of divine love in thought, speech, feelings, and action. We, the gods of the elements, we are watching, and we will not miss any opportunity if you invite us to come to you and help you sail your way back to beings of cause alone, and that cause love, the sacred tone. And if you wish, I will come to you and project a trident of my own creation, which is composed of pure electronic light source within the water element of your physical bodies. I'm not sure what you're going to do when you come to feel, when you come to love the divine sensation of my trident of pure electronic force active within the water elements of your bodies. Because I am confident that you will love that new sensation. I thank you for your generous time with me today. And finally, I encourage you to join the Radiant Rose Academy live planetary decree teleconference that takes place twice a month on Tuesdays. It's free, beloved hearts. It's an opportunity to serve your planet and all life upon your planet. Just click on the teleconference link on the home page of the Academy website, and you can discover how to participate in these free planetary decree teleconferences. And you can make a difference. Don't forget, precious hearts, to bless the water element every day, along with the other elements too. I thank you for your presence with me this day. Namaste, dear friends of love's eternal presence. Namaste, namaste, namaste.